There is a bunch of brave people. This started in Lebanon, and they are doing something called the Burn ISIS Flag Challenge. It even has a hashtag on Twitter. And let's take a look at some video. Okay, so as I said, this started in Lebanon, but it's spreading, so to speak, across the Middle East. As you can see, some of the people do show their faces, some don't. These people have some ball. Like, whether you're showing your face or not, knowing that everything can be tracked and traced and tagged and all that, we got to give these people some credit for having balls, right?
Absolutely. It's definitely risky, but it's interesting to see some of them using blowtorches.
The blowtorch.
They're not messing around.
That seemed to be the reaction from you two behind the camera here.
It's really spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, I half made the pun and then I kind of stopped. Thank you for picking that up.
I just needed to follow through with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but really, we do have to give these people, like, these people live in a part of the world where there is so little freedom. We know what ISIS is doing. I mean, this was originally in reaction to them beheading a Lebanese soldier. So we kind of should be backing these people that are trying to fight the power, right?
Absolutely, and I think it was a group of students that initially did this. And there's a video, I think, on YouTube with over 100,000 views, and at the end of it, they challenged the whole world, ice bucket challenge style, to also burn flags. Yeah. So everyone out there watching, don't buy a flag though, print it out. And don't support them, but you can burn a printout copy.
Do you guys think in a weird way that when people do these kinds of things that it somehow strengthens them? You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's my concern in this, is that, you know, ISIS and these Islamic extremists and whatnot are doing have a huge outreach campaign on social media to recruit new people, and my concern in this is that it's drawing even more social network attention, where it could potentially be those people that are on the fence of joining or not, or looking more into the other side of things. Yeah. That's just my fear in this, that it's just bringing more media where that's actually been one of their largest outlets in recruiting new members.
Yeah, so we've been talking about that because we've been doing this for weeks. We were doing ISIS before it was cool. We were doing it here, really, back in May. I mean, we were talking about this. But how much of that do you think is true? Like, should we be talking about this? Because is it all, you know, people, they were suspending Twitter accounts that were posting the beheading videos, and they don't want, you know, they're taking them off YouTube and all that because they think it's propaganda. To me, I think we kind of have to talk about it because we need to know what's going on, especially if we're about to enter a freaking war that doesn't see, I don't want, but that's gonna happen. But how much do we have to actually talk about it without strengthening them?
I think it's impossible to have one without the other.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of just have to weigh it and see what you think is more beneficial. In this case, like she said, most of their recruitment is coming from social media, so it is a scary idea. But how else are you going to get the word out there? How else are you going to try to make change?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is a profound statement. And in reading about this, I actually stumbled across something else that I thought was really moving, which was the Rubble Challenge. Have you heard about that?
No,
it's
what's that?
A small group of people in Gaza, instead of doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, they actually took buckets of rubble where they, you know, obviously don't have access to water, and a lot of them don't have access to electricity to make ice, so they actually took something that they do have access to a tremendous amount of, which is rubble, and poured it over their heads as a statement. So I mean, this concept is catching on, and it does make people have discussions like we are right now. So I think, you know, in that sense, it's good.
Yeah. Although at some level, the more of these that we do, are we just watering down all of them? No pun intended. There was a bad pun too. Really? Like, are we really? I mean, you know, everyone's doing this now. We have secretaries of state that do hashtag things on Twitter. Like, how much actual change is any of this affecting, really? Beyond just kind of making, the information's good, it gets us talking about it, that kind of stuff. Do you think it really causes any change?
I do. And I think, honestly, the more people talking about it, the better. I don't think that there's any watering down effect. I think that, you know, the conversation is good to have, and if people weren't talking about it before and they are now, that's only positive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, then let's end on an agreement.